and we're further away, which is
That's good.
we haven't appeared live yet on the iPad,
Okay.
but I might refresh.
So how do we
Can
know?
anybody see us?
Oh no, I don't know because that's not
It says
coming.
we've been live for 24 seconds, but we're
It's
not live on this. We're
now.
live
It's
on.
now. Yes.
Oh, we're
Now
there.
there we go.
Hey up, everyone.
Hello.
Nice to see so many people in.
Mm.
We're live. We're doing the live through YouTube, and I've
Mm.
never scheduled a live before. The comments come up in the middle of the screen.
Oh well. Okay.
I didn't know how to do it through EV Mux, which is what I've been using to do my lives for the last year, I think. So I had to Google to see if you could schedule a live just using YouTube app, and you could. Who knew? So we followed the instructions, set it last night, and then I was like, now what do we do? How do we connect to it? But we've worked it out. So hopefully it's all good. There's lots of people in the chat. Should we do some of those?
Yes.
So we've got Marilyn was the first one in. Hi, Marilyn. And then Robin. Hi, Robin. Twigger. Hi, Twigger. Lily Rose is here. Hi, Lily Rose. And Steph. Let me know if I miss anybody out, won't you?
Okay.
Kat. Hello, Kat. Sarah. Dawn. Yeah, it's not raining. We've done really well. When we got here, it forecast rain every day of the week, and we've had it once, which was yesterday when we went to Wells.
Yeah, it was
And it wasn't rain like it was throwing it down. It was that wet, misty rain.
It was that really fine rain.
As Peter Kay would say, that really fine stuff that wets you through.
It soaks you up.
But yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, really sunny. I've just been putting a bit of the vlog together to try and save time. It's going to be a long one, guys. And I couldn't believe it. I said, look how sunny it is. And then it was just yesterday, and today has been dry. It's a bit cloudy today,
So
but
you got up to dawn.
thanks for keeping me in check. Artemis, Moomin, Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. Eva, Lel, Lolly, Mrs. L. Rachel's here. Hi. The other Dawn, Jay.
Jay says, I'm watching with my mum. Can you say hi to her? Her name is Rose.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose.
Amanda. Hi, Amanda. SJ, Elspeth, Melody, Anne, Claire, Barry, Golden. Hello, Golden. Oh, we've got Vasco. Hi, Vasco. Trisha, HG. Out on a limb life. We bumped into you today.
We saw you today.
Sorry if I alarmed you by no. We was carrying quite heavy. We both said afterwards, didn't we? We would love to have stood and chatted for longer, but you in particular was really struggling
with the heavy item.
Yeah, we won't give too much away because that's our big ticket items from the week, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we love a long one. Lucy, Ferdiad, hello Ferdiad. Susanna and Ghost Babies and Lette. Yeah, but we've seen a few people this trip. So
yes. So as we just said, we saw Helen today, and we also, I think the first person we bumped into.
Sorry, I just saw a news flash come up. Prince Andrew is losing his prince title. It's not going to be.
Surprise.
It's not going to be a prince. That's unprecedented. Well, it's the right thing to do, but losing Duke of York is one thing.
Losing your prince title,
which is an inherited title. Wow, that's big news. But anyway.
So the first person that we met was Dan. We met him at the market, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dan from the Wirral. So, and it's really funny because everybody we've met, even, was it Helen, out on a limb life?
Yes,
Yeah.
Helen, yes.
Everybody that we met have said, come up to us and said, I know who you are, but you won't know, you won't know me.
Yeah.
So we were walking around the market and this bloke approached us and said, I watch all your videos, particularly your vlogs. And his name was Dan, and he lives in the Wirral up near Liverpool. And he said, are you vlogging on this trip? I said, yeah, we've been doing some vlogging. So it was nice to have a chat with him. And then we was in, was it Labyrinth Books?
No,
Or
it was
Hollow
in Hollow
Hills?
Hills that used to be the Speaking Tree, and another lady approached us, Jo, in the same way, and said that she watches both channels. So it was really lovely, and we had like a little bit of a chat with her, didn't we? It was really nice.
We knew Joe was coming to Glastonbury because I think she left a message on one of my videos, or perhaps it was on one of the lives, and she said, I'm going to be in Glastonbury during the week. I think she was just there till today, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she said that she also left a message on my Facebook as well.
Yeah. So that was Joe we met, and then today we saw Helen from Out on a Limb Life. Just walking through the high street, we'd been to Weird Raven to get these bits that we saw way back on Sunday.
Yes.
But the weird thing about Glastonbury, and I don't understand it, is that shops shut in the week.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come to Glastonbury, it's another world anyway. So like the opening times aren't like 8:30, 9 o'clock like it would be in Nottingham. All the shops are open by 9 o'clock. But here they're 10, 11, some are 12, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they'll just be open for a few hours. And then we was amazed, because we'd come for the first time for a week, Sunday to Sunday, we was amazed that Sunday all the shops were open, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some even Thursday aren't open. They're just closed.
No. Yeah.
So they just kind of do the, I mean, there's some that's open every day, isn't there? Like
There
Sons
is
of
some,
Asgard and
Sons of Asgard always are, and Star Child.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a different world.
It's just,
really.
it's like Glastonbury's in its own little bubble or something.
Oh, so shopping has occurred. Do you know, if I ever say again, I don't need anything this time, I think all I'm going to do is go and restock things like candles and incense, because that's what I need to do every year anyway, is restock on candles and incense. And I have done.
Plus,
I think I've bought more things this year than in any other visit. And after today, I was like, that's it. I'm not getting anything. We've still got 2 more days, but I'm not doing I don't need anything else. So, but yeah, shopping has occurred.
it has.
Big stuff is happening. 3i Atlas comet influence, perhaps. I heard about that today. I was watching Marilyn from Tarot Clarity, and she talked about Atlas, 3i Atlas, and I was like, what's that? But then she said it passed by, and I was like, oh, it must be a comet or something then. But we've not really heard about that here, have we?
No. Claire's just said, did you get Becca's frothies?
I did that on the first day, just so I wouldn't forget. We said, didn't we? Oh, we'll
get Becca's. But it was fortunate because they didn't have many black ones left, did they?
No, there's only about 3. So we said, right, let's get it. I love Weird Raven, says Amanda. Beautiful things in there.
Lovely Weird Raven. Really
I
nice.
may go back.
I don't need to buy anything else in the next 2 days. I may go back.
You've done Glastonbury. You can skip Christmas now.
Right.
Yeah. Shall we have some mead?
Why not?
So what have we got today?
Today we have black cherry.
Black cherry mead, which is one of our favourites.
It is, yeah.
We've not had it this time. So Mead consumption, we've got a bit left for offering for tomorrow night's ancestral ritual, but
It'd be rude not to.
we had one on the first night, didn't we?
Mm.
Just to kind of, we're here, so actually we had one in the Georgian Pilgrim when we got here before we had Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
And then we've not bothered with it until, I had one last night with dinner.
Yeah.
And then on the way back from the White Spring today, we called in at the Rifleman's, which is our local. It's just round the corner, and it's like stepping back in time.
Yeah,
You're getting
it's
that
so
pub, isn't
old in there, really low ceilings, beams, everything.
it? So we stopped into there, and we had a little bottle each, and it's the nicest one.
Yeah, it was a traditional mead.
Yeah,
Really nice.
Black cherry mead is the best, said Jay.
Yeah, it is a nice one.
Did you have a whole bottle each? No.
No.
Although I could.
Are you housing in the same place as usual? Yes, Robin, this is Moonstone Cottage.
This is our 4th year at Moonstone Cottage. Shall I be mum?
Yeah, you can be mum.
Yeah, our 4th year. I love this sound. Listen. That's what's the word? What's that? Those videos that are to do with sound.
Oh, ASMR.
Yeah, this is Mead ASMR.
Mead ASMR. Enough. Thank you, Simon.
It's not like you.
Stop.
Cheers, me ducks.
Ooh, just smell it.
Oh, that smells good. I love cherry flavour.
Oh my God. I forgot how nice it is.
Nothing nicer. To be fair, a lot of them are independent run, 1 or 2 people, so it makes sense for them to work out only when they need to be open. Yeah, I get that.
Whose art is on the wall behind us? I don't know who the individual artists are.
No,
Robin.
but there's an amazing picture on the wall that I'm coveting up here.
Yeah.
That one you can just see the corner of. Let me show it you. See if I can take it now.
Save enough mead for Sandra's breakfast, Robin.
Yes. Look at that. Isn't that an amazing piece of art? I love it. I want to know who the artist is or where you can get this from, because that's amazing.
Does it taste like honey? Yes, particularly the traditional mead. You can really taste the honey in it. This one, not so much because you've got the cherry flavour, but the traditional definitely, because some people call it honey wine.
Yeah, I can't get it back on the wall now.
No, you'll have to though.
So Ferdy had said about, I get it, but do you know, yesterday we came back from Wales and we tried to get in a cafe, didn't we? And they were queuing for tables. It was absolutely rammed in Glastonbury yesterday, and all these shops are shut. Now, if I was running a business, I get the small independent business, but if I was running a business and I walked down the high street and saw how many people were there yesterday, just walking past shops that are shut, it just baffles me. Where am I up to? I'm lost where I am on the chats. How is the energy in Glastonbury? Happy Samhain. The energy is amazing.
It is.
In Glastonbury.
Always. And in fact, because we went to Wales yesterday, and when we came back and we were back in Glastonbury, got out of the car, it's almost like doing the happy dance, like, ooh, we're back in Glastonbury, because nothing feels like this.
I think they're just shut just because it's a different...
They just do what they want to, Robin. They're all independent shops, so they just open when they want and close when they want, really.
Yeah. I mean, we've said to people, haven't we? You know, if we've like bought stuff we don't want to carry, what time are we going to come back? What time are you open to? And they'll say, about
Yeah.
four-ish.
There's no kind of,
And you think, okay, well, I don't want to leave it here and you'd be shut type of thing.
Exactly.
But it's just, Glastonbury time is different to anywhere else.
Oh, lots of pagan people in costumes. I mean, even if it wasn't Samhain, you can get that, Robin. I remember one time going into the local co-op here and seeing somebody dressed in full witchcraft sort of ritual type gear with headdress and everything, just doing her shopping.
This might be the
Yes.
pub. So
I want to live in Glastonbury. Hello, Kitty. Yes.
Amanda says, we love the King Arthur pub on Benedict Street. So that must be the one that my friend was on about. Because Benedict Street is where Weird Raven is.
Yeah.
And she said, you must go to that pub
King Arthur.
down there, she said, because it's brilliant.
And then there's that one called the Mitre, though, isn't there? Which is more of an eatery.
Yeah. It was definitely a pub that she said to go to. And we haven't yet, have we?
No. Just
Art by Tangled Nooses, I think. What, that one I showed in the frame? Tangled Nooses. I'll have to... Oh, we ain't got a pen, have we? So we'll have to make a note of that.
I've just dropped mead on myself.
Twigger has never drunk mead. That's because you... How many you had today?
One. It was that one. This is the second.
Oh, yeah, second one. Seen any little trick-or-treaters or pagans in costumes? Everybody's in a costume. Would you like to live in Glastonbury?
I would.
Yes, but it's not possible with my job. So, but if ever there was an opportunity or expansion with the work and it came to this area, then count me in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love it. I would love to live here.
Wednesday is the worst for shop closing in Glastonbury. No one were open, but understandable. Yeah.
Oh, here's Sonique as well. Hi.
Hello. I have another bottle of mead coming tomorrow. A spiced undie.
Oh, yes.
I'm drinking the black cherry too. It's very Moorish. It is.
It is.
Cheers.
Hello, Kitty has said, have you ever had any visions in Glastonbury or unusual dreams? Yes, always. Weird dreams every night so far. Always here, definitely. I do anyway. Even you have, haven't you?
I had a dream where I was trying to control a double-decker bus. I was driving a double-decker bus. Why, I don't know. And I couldn't drive it. And I kept steering towards hitting vehicles at the side of the road. And I was trying to keep control and I pressed the brakes. And when I pressed the brakes, the bus spun around. So I was facing the opposite direction. And it was so stress-inducing. That was the other morning I woke up from that. I saw a question. Did you go down the medieval street in Wells? Yes, it's impressive.
Brilliant.
It's Europe's oldest surviving residential street.
It's amazing.
It'll be on the vlog.
Very cool.
And I put some pictures on my personal Facebook, but also on the Hermit's Cave Instagram. If you want to check that out.
What decks did you bring with you, Letty Louise is asking.
So I knew somebody would ask that, and I said, so the decks that I brought with me is for my AM. And this is the birthday present that I got from
yes.
that I got from
I'll come back to that in a minute, Amanda.
Birthday present that I got from Giselle. But I brought for my AM readings, and we've had a stalker card.
Yes.
Ancient Italian. Love this deck. Really love this deck. It's one of the most beautiful pit style decks. So Ancient Italian is what I bought, and for the evening,
That's such a lovely bag.
yeah, this is handmade for me. I bought the Age of Glory. The
Age of Glory.
The Golden Age Tarot. Age of Glory. Which is the Daniel Martin Diaz RWS. I love the size of these cards. You even liked it, didn't you?
Yes, lovely.
And you're not a huge traditional RWS person, are you?
No, I've got a few now.
No, I mean the straight up ones. You always said you liked, like Dirty Pam and
Yeah, I
things
like
that...
Dirty Pam and stuff. But I have got a blue box.
Just going, what you always said. You always said I'm not a straight up RWS
No,
person.
that was before when I first started with tarot, and I got an ordinary RWS that you could just buy in any shop, and I hated it. But since then, seeing some of the other RWS decks, I've got a few, and I do like them. I do like the Pamela Coleman Smith artwork.
And then the Oracle is because of the week. So we've got Book of the Dead Oracle that we bought, and you've been pulling one of these every morning, haven't you?
Is it Book of the Dead?
Beloved Dead.
Beloved Dead, that's it.
Yeah, I get all my titles and things mixed up. So, and you've been pulling one every morning, haven't you?
Yes, those, yes. Just to go back to Amanda's question, well, not question, what she'd actually said here was that she was in the White Spring a couple of weeks ago, sat in front of the Cernunnos statue in there, and I swear it smiled at me. That's what I always think happens. That's what happens to me in there. But today when we were in there and were in front of the Cernunnos statue, I was stood up because the bench thing that you can sit on is really, really low. And I thought, no, I'm not going to never get up from there. So I was stood, made an offering and stuff. And I could feel from the bottom of my feet, tingles on my feet, going all the way up my legs at the back, the calves, right the way up into my back. And something like that always happens, but always in front of the Cernunnos statue. So, yeah.
And that's my favourite spot
Yeah.
as well in the White Spring, sitting in front of the Cernunnos statue. I do like the bit with all the ribbons as you first go in.
That's lovely too, yeah.
But
and that goddess statue with the swan.
They've got a beautiful new addition this year as well, where the pools are, where people can go in and bathe. These beautiful swans.
Did you bring that new Libra moon deck with the alternate cards for Sandra to have a look?
No, I just brought these alternate cards for you to have a look.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. Don't know what you mean, Robin.
There is really strong feelings in there, Amanda.
Yeah.
You feel it every time. And when you come out, it's just like, it's like so kind of a relaxed and peaceful kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've always said if there's any temple for me, then that would be it.
That would be it, yeah, definitely.
Very earthy, very grounding, but also just very relaxing and calming, and you feel like you've been recharged when you go in there and you come out back into the world.
Definitely.
All the aches and pains that you went in, you come out and you just feel light. It's really nice, but at the same time it's so earthy, you know, because you're at the foot of the tour, you know, you're in kind of like a cave like environment. There's no technology, no electrics, you can't take your phones. Well, you can take your phones, but you can't use your phones. lit by candles everywhere, and then there's the noise of the water that's rushing into it, into the pool. And people are just bathing and washing themselves in there. And then you come outside and you can drink the spring water as well.
Yeah, and you've got the sound of the water because it's constantly running into the sort of cavern cave part, and people do get into the water. You can take your clothes off and get in there if you would like to.
Yeah. Do you like the Glastonbury Avalonians like Dion Fortune? And have you been to a grave? We went to a grave last year.
Yes, I love it. I've actually got a book called The Avalonians, and I managed to get an old, like, vintage copy. I love it.
I agree about the White Spring Temple. It's very special. I love it. I had a really lovely time there today.
Yeah,
What
it
time was you
lovely.
there? I know when we saw you, you said you was going. We was there about an hour after that. Because we was on our way back to the car when we saw Helen, wasn't we?
We were, yeah.
And then we just drove here, which is a 4-minute drive. And we didn't even stop. We said, shall we just go straight out?
Just go straight there while we're on our feet.
And it's about a 6-7 minute walk from here to the White Spring.
Yeah, Jay, Labyrinth Books, yes, it is still open. And I was chatting to the guy in there, and he has got a buyer. So it's really brilliant news that Labyrinth Books is not going to like close forever. I mean, maybe it'll close for a little while they sort of change over from the guy that runs it now to the new lady that's going to be running it. But yeah, that's good news that isn't going to close. So yeah.
And he's staying there.
And he's staying. He's going to be working in the shop sometimes as well. So that's really good.
Yeah, she's from overseas, isn't she?
Yes, I think he said she's American.
And he said that she said, would you stay on? So
Yeah.
he's staying on. So we shouldn't really see much difference, really.
Yeah, exactly. I was worried the same thing as well, Jay. I was thinking, oh, it'd be such a shame if that goes, because then you're just left with the Hollow Hills and Courtyard Books. But all 3 bookshops kind of offer something a bit different.
Is your boyfriend, Sean, called Niles? You put, so exciting to see you back in Glastonbury. I was there last summer with my boyfriend. Absolutely loved it. We left the little plant in the bottle by the kitchen window.
Oh.
And I left an orange pen. So, but that wasn't last summer, that was this one, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, there's a book where you can write messages in. And there was a message saying we'd seen it on YouTube from Simon and Sandra. And we've had a lovely stay. And it was signed by a Sean and Niles. I think it N-I-E. And I wondered if that was So Niles, who often pops onto the channel and leaves comments. Yes. Cool.
Yay.
We read your
Excellent.
message in the book.
We did.
And is your partner then So Niles?
Yeah.
Who we see on here from time to time. Because I messaged, he'd messaged on one of my videos, and I sent him a message earlier today saying, did you stay at Moonstone Cottage? So I'm loving all these connections.
I know, it's so
bumping into
brilliant,
people,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So good.
Definitely, all 3 bookshops are all very different. Yes, they are.
Yes, all different offerings.
And that's what's great about it.
Yeah, not like when you go into a high street and Waterstones is Waterstones or whatever. You know, these all offer different things.
Yeah. And we're staying till Sunday, Robin. So, well, you're staying a bit because your brother's coming, but I'm leaving at like 6 a.m.
You're leaving a bit earlier, aren't you? And my
try and
brother's
beat the traffic.
Coming for me about 9 o'clock, but he does want to go into Sons of Asgard before we leave, so he said we'll probably pop in there so that he can get his bits and have something to eat. And yes, that's so Niles. Yeah,
that's us. That's brilliant.
Brilliant. Oh.
It's nice to make the connection.
Yeah, that's great.
And what did he say he left? I'm going to look for it. He said, I left
a little plant.
Little plant.
Window.
in the bottle by the kitchen window. In the bottle. This is the kitchen window, but there's a huge plant.
Yeah.
Unless they've had a move around.
They might have moved it around because there's a little plant up there, look.
Yeah, it says love on it.
Yeah.
But it says in a bottle. Plant in a bottle.
Was it in a bottle or
We
next
left
to
the
a bottle?
plant in the bottle by the kitchen window.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
In the bottle by the kitchen window. I'm not sure. He told me that. So cool. So, let's tell you about our week then.
Yes.
So Sunday, and this will all be on the vlog, because the vlog is so... I said to Sandra, I'm like, Sandra, it's at the end of day 2 and it's 30 minutes long. We're here for 7 days. So I have edited it heavily, like kind of made the clip shorter. Otherwise I won't have space to even upload it. But I set off at 5:45 in the morning, and it was brilliant. I got here in just over 3 hours, which has never been done. The quickest I've ever done it was 3.5. Getting back last year, this is why I'm leaving early again, was 4.5 hours. But it was just clear all the way because it was Sunday morning. It was a little bit busy around Birmingham, but once you've passed Birmingham and you get on the M5, you're on it for just under 100 miles. It was straight all the way down, and you had to stop once for a loo break. So I actually got to Glastonbury for 9 a.m. and there was a cafe just opening, so I dived in there, waited for Sandra, and you got there about 9:30.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then what did we do Sunday?
Sunday.
We've had to take note. We sat here before we went live.
What did we do that day? Because it all kind of merges into one.
For the longest time, we couldn't think what we did Monday.
No.
It was like, no, that was Tuesday. No, that was Sunday.
So Sunday, yeah, well, we had breakfast, didn't we? Did a bit of just going in and out of shops, just having a little sort of wander around, having a look that day. Did a bit of food shopping to bring back here, and we managed to get into the Tribunal, which has never been open before when we've been here, has it? Really, really old section on the High Street, which is the same age as the Georgian Pilgrims, so like from the 1400s, yeah.
Yeah.
Sean did say, did you see the badgers yet?
No.
We've not, have we?
I've never seen the badgers.
It's by the small window close to the door to the garden. That's where the plant is out there.
That window then?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we'd literally have to go down the bottom of the garden, I think, to try and see
Yeah,
the
we have
badgers.
done that in previous years, haven't we? Do you know that the weird thing about this week is we're here for the longest time, but we seem to have the less time to do stuff.
Yeah.
We still haven't been such and such.
We still haven't done that. We still haven't done that.
And my concern is we've got 2 days left. We're going to run out of time. But that's why we'll say where we went today in a little while. But then when we got back, it was like, right, let's do the White Spring.
It's the White Spring now before we end up not being able to do it. And that's like a big thing because that and the Chalice Well I always love to do.
But I think as well it's because we don't set alarm clocks this week. We're doing everything at a leisurely pace. When we wake up, which for me has been about 5 o'clock every day anyway.
For me, it's been about 3:30, but I've then gone back to sleep, fortunately.
Yeah. But I've got my iPad, so I just lay in bed and watch something, and we tend to get up around 7.
Yeah, or just after.
So I have a couple of hours catching up on social media or watching things on YouTube, and then getting up. But
no, we couldn't do 2 weeks, Trisha. We'd run out of
no,
money.
Amanda. We're
Trisha.
not doing Gog and Magog.
Oh, no, we're not. Oh, my God. That was a killer. We collapsed in a cafe after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The nearest cafe and just collapsed into it.
Yeah. So Sunday was just a kind of a leisurely
walk around, checking things out.
Not feeling like we've got to go into every shop, just going into the ones that kind of appealed to us. We had a lovely dinner roast dinner
Yeah,
in the Georgian
Pilgrims
Pilgrim.
was really lovely. I had the vegetarian option, which was really, really nice.
I had the beef
Yeah,
and Yorkshire puddings, and
yeah,
it was really
really
nice.
lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then Sunday night we got here at just after 4, just before 4,
Yes.
because you access this place at 4 o'clock.
Mm.
So and then we just had a sandwich in the evening. I just made a cheese sandwich just
Yeah.
because we'd had a big dinner.
So we didn't need.
Yes, and we just kind of chilled out on Sunday evening, didn't we?
Craggy Brook Witchery says, "You
Hi,
two
Laurie.
sound so chill."
It's the mead.
Probably.
No,
It's the
it does
Glastonbury vibes.
chill you out though.
It does here.
Yeah, and then Monday that was
Chatterswell.
the warmest day, wasn't
Oh,
it?
it was lovely. It was almost like a late summer day
Yeah, really sunny, really warm.
and warm in the sun.
So we said this would be a great day to go to the Chalice Well. So we got there, it opened at 10, we was just after that, weren't we?
Yeah.
But when we first got in there, it was like having most of the garden to ourselves. There was hardly anybody in there. The well wasn't dressed yet for Samhain, but it was still dressed. It's
Still
got
had some
lovely
dressing.
flowers on there. We put an offering on, didn't we? And
Yeah.
well, we did a few offerings in there because there's a couple of goddess statues. So we took some crystals. I made a note last year. I said to Sandra, I'm going to try and remember next year to bring some crystals for offerings. So I made a voice note to remind me in a year's time to pack some crystals, and it came up the day before I went. So it came up on Saturday last week. So I put a bag of crystals together, and there's some up at the Tor, there's some in the Chalice Well. Well, there's quite a few in the Chalice Well. There's one in the White Spring. Where else did we? Do you think there's another place where we've made an offering? But anyway.
Oh, thank you, Tricia. She says she loves my nails.
Very
my Halloween nails, you see. Halloween Samhain nails.
And they left us, I mean, they always leave us fruit.
Yeah.
But they left us a pumpkin.
Yeah, if we want to carve it.
With a, I've got that
You
picture
put that picture on it.
top of it. I'll probably end up
Mind your glass.
a little
Pumpkin carving kit.
and they left us a voucher as well.
Yeah.
Which we forgot to take with us. Because it's to be used in Wells. And Wells is only 15 minutes drive from here. But they left us a voucher, which was really nice.
It was really nice of them. We forgot it.
Yeah, but the next person will benefit from it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping to tackle Gog and Magog next week, but after watching your vlog a few times, I know definitely not to go down that big. Yeah, we only, it was worse for us because we took a wrong turn, didn't we?
Aki, sorry to bother you both. Not at all. Is it far away from Sandra to Simon's? Well, from where I live to Simon's, it's about a 2-hour drive if you were driving by car. Because I live in the south of, and you live sort of Midlands.
Yeah, East Midlands, I'm in. So I when I go to Glastonbury, I have to go across and down because it's not far from the Welsh border, really. So I have to go from East Midlands to West Midlands, and then once you've passed Birmingham, you then go onto the M5 and come down into Somerset for 100 miles down. And then it's about half an hour after you come off the motorway to Glastonbury.
Whereas I, come up and come past Stonehenge and all of that into Glastonbury.
I hope you don't leave out the good stuff. No, it's just a bit, if I'm like in the Chalice Well and I'm doing a panoramic around, I might shorten that a bit. But, or where we're talking, I think they don't need to hear that bit, so I just snip it out. Any movie choices for tonight? We've been watching a series,
Yeah.
which we do every year, don't we?
Yeah,
We always
find
find
something.
something on Netflix or because you can cast here. And we're watching a series called Blind Spot. It's the last episode tonight. So we didn't start watching that until Monday.
Yeah.
Sunday night we didn't really find anything, did we? Was we just watching YouTube videos?
No, we were watching that odd Italian one.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit strange.
And I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
Because I've been up since 5 and 3
Like,
hour
I'm
drive.
going to bed, and left me.
I said I'm gonna have to go to bed. Left you? You were straight up.
Not quite straight up.
No, we're not doing Avebury this year.
No,
We've been to two other places, which we'll come on to. So Monday, Chalice Well.
Then we did incense and candle shopping.
Trying to be organised.
Which we did, but there might have been some additions to that.
Yeah. But we were like, oh, I really need to stop because, as I said, I was only going to buy candles and incense. So I said, well, being as we're going to the Chalice Well in the morning, shall we go into town, have a little bit of lunch and just do all our candle and incense shopping? So that was the main part, wasn't it?
It was for Monday. Tricia says, will you guys be doing Samhain next year in Glastonbury, or are you changing Sabbats?
We're thinking of changing Sabbats.
Yeah.
So we've done 4 Samhains now. And we don't want it to become samey. So like tomorrow, we're doing something a bit different. We're going to a fire ceremony, aren't we?
Yes.
But then we'll probably go and watch the zombie parade again. Well, we saw the zombie parade previous years. So was like we might come at a different time. Next year.
Next year.
It's all up in the air. Nothing.
Yeah, and not set because as well you'll need to find out about your leave and things like that.
Yeah. Robin says, if you've never seen it and can stream a classic Halloween movie, is Night of the Demon.
There's a Crowley character, Stone. Ooh.
Oh, seance, hypnotism, witchcraft, and a demon.
Oh, that sounds good, Robin.
Yeah. What was it called?
Night of the Demon.
Okay, we'll look at that.
Zombie March is brilliant, yeah.
Yeah. So then Tuesday was market day in Glastonbury. So we took a walk down in the morning. Had a bit of a meander around the market. Made a few purchases.
Yes. I mean, there was 2 different markets really though, wasn't there?
3.
There was 2 craft markets and the normal Tuesday market.
Yeah. So 2 were indoors, 1 outdoors.
And 1 outdoors in the car park area.
I made a pretty big purchase there. Well, I'll tell you what it is, but not what it is. But, you know, I spoke recently about a black mirror. This is like the mother of black mirrors.
Black mirrors.
And I saw it and I was like, oh, Sandra, look at this. But it weighs a ton. And it was the start of the day and I was like, I don't want to be walking around with that all day. And then walked a bit around the market and I was like, I'm going to go back and get that black mirror just in case it goes. And then his blooming card machine wouldn't work. So I was like, okay, where's the cash point?
Yeah, luckily just across the road.
Just across the road. So I took the cash out and then gave it him. And then, did we end up going back to drop it off? Because I want to walk around with that all day.
Yes, I think you said you were going to drop it off.
Yeah, because you was going to wait in town while I ran it home. Yeah,
but then we didn't do that.
No. I just suffered in silence. I just carried on.
Right. And a funny thing happened there. Well, kind of. Was it there? No, it wasn't there, was it?
What?
The box thing.
The box thing.
Was that the market in Wales?
That was Wales.
Okay.
What does that say? Info centre?
Yeah, info centre. You know the like information centre bit in the town hall.
Oh, yeah.
As we were coming out of the craft market, and we nipped in there and.
I taught Sandra into getting a teddy bear.
Yeah. He knows, you see, that I have a weakness for plushes and soft toys and cute things like that. And he was like, "Oh, look at this. It says take me home."
Dana Andrews. That's was Dana Andrews in The Day the Earth Stood Still? It's in science fiction double feature from Rocky Horror Show. Dana Andrews says prunes gave him the runes and passing them use lots of skill. Shouldn't sing on YouTube. Get strike.
You will. So some purchases were made in there, weren't they?
Yeah. Although I didn't buy anything from the indoor craft markets.
No, neither did I.
But the big market, I did. A couple of bits. Some jewellery as well.
I bought a couple of small pieces of things in the ordinary market.
Yeah.
And
Runes in Demon. I'm lost. So then I went up the tour for Sunset.
yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I did it. And it was probably the best day to do it because it has been cloudy yesterday and tonight. But it was a killer. So we normally go up first thing to see sunrise, don't we?
Yeah.
And then you're energetic 'cause you've just been asleep and you've woke up. But
yes, I saw.
when I went up there, I'd been awake for 12 hours, been on my feet all day. So it was a real killer to get up there. But I did it, and I did it in 20 minutes from leaving the door here to the top of the tour, which is unbelievable. I was up there for 5:05 and I left here at 4:45.
Yeah.
And then I stayed up there for a good couple of hours, which is the longest I've stayed up there for, because we saw the sunset. You didn't go. You decided not to go because your hips playing up.
Because I can't. I didn't want to like mess myself up for the rest of the week.
Yeah. And it was beautiful. You wait till you see the vlog. The sky was amazing. And there was quite a few people up there. People were chatty, but it was biting cold, which I guess it's because you're exposed, aren't you, up there to the elements. You know, there's nothing blocking, and the wind was really cold. And I just got my hoodie, and I brought a woolly hat and left it here. And trying to hold the camera, my fingers were numb, and it was so cold. Then my nose started running. But I stayed up there till it was dark. I've never been up there in the dark. And seeing Glastonbury all lit up was beautiful. But I'd taken a torch with me, a little LED torch, because I knew coming back would be... it hadn't rained, because it only rained yesterday, but I thought it might be a bit slippery underfoot. So I took this LED red torch, and I rang Sandra from the top of the tour. Well, I glided you first, hadn't I? So you could see the sunset.
Yeah, and then you rang me.
And then I rang her and I said, can you, because obviously up there you're looking down at Glastonbury and you could just make out where our street would be. And I said, go to my bedroom window and see if you can make out the tour, because by this time it was getting dark. So you looked out the window and he said, yeah, I can see it. And I started flashing my torch.
And oh my God, I could really see this red light so clearly. Unbelievable that he was right up on that tour, clicking this red light like on and off and moving it around, and I could see it. So I was like on the phone to him going, yes, I can see it. It's so cool. It's really clear. It's unbelievable how clearly I could see that red light.
Yeah, it just felt like really, really odd to think that I was all the way up at the top of the tour, looking down on this little town that was beautiful, lit up, and she could see my little signals that I was sending on this
so
torch.
cool. And I said, because it was so freezing when he was on the phone, I said, so shall I have a hot cup of tea ready? He went, oh yes, that sounds nice. It's so cold.
It was so cold, and I virtually ran down the tour.
Yeah, you were back quite quick.
Yeah, because I said see you in 15 minutes, and I think it was just before 15 minutes. You weren't quite ready for me, was you? So.
Oh, I had boiled the kettle,
Yeah.
and it had gone off, but I thought, well, that's all right, because it won't take long to boil and do the tea.
Amanda's asked if we've seen the shop. We have, Visions at the
Oh yes,
bottom.
Visions of Sunset.
I love how she's painted her shop purple.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
I've not been in there though. I know where
No, but we stood at the window and the doorway and looked at the artwork, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
It's a very tiny shop, but I said to Sandra, I could live there because it's like a 2-story house on top of a shop, and it's painted purple, and it just stands out, and it looks great.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
You're signalling to put the kettle on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does Glastonbury calendars as well, she was saying.
Yeah, they do.
The beginning of Kate Bush's Hounds of Love. Oh, I love Kate Bush. Look, I got a Kate Bush birthday card this year from a friend that knows how much I love Kate Bush. Hounds of Love is amazing.
Hi, Chris.
Chris.
Elemental Cartomancy.
Oh, hey up, Chris. I didn't know if you meant Sons of Asgard, Chris.
Oh,
he's
right.
in my mind from...
Yeah, but no.
So, yesterday, Wednesday, we went to Wells.
Yes.
Now, I've never been to Wells before.
I had.
About 10 years ago.
Because he's laughing because we had to re-record
We're
that
vloggers.
bit every, I don't know how, 5 or 6 times, because no, that's not right. Oh, there's a car coming. Redo it. So I'm repeating the same thing over and over again when he's refilming and refilming.
And I'm like, I've never been to Wells before. And then Sandra goes, I have, about 10 years ago.
And I said this God knows how many times.
And then this bloody van would go flying past with it. I'm like, we have to do it again. We have to do it again.
Look at that, you see now. You offended Chris. He says, who's Chris? Wow, Simon.
I should have said which Chris, not who's Chris, because, yeah, there's a Chris here at Glastonbury as well that sometimes pops into lives when we're here or on the haul videos and stuff. So, no offence, Chris. Yeah, so yesterday we went to Wells. Would I go again? Maybe in quite a few years, like 10 years. But that was the only day we've had rain so far, touch wood. And like we said, it wasn't a heavy rain, it was just that misty rain.
But the trouble is it soaks you quite quickly, that type of rain.
But we found an amazing pub to have lunch in. I had Welsh rarebit. No, I didn't have Welsh rarebit.
Somerset
I had
rarebit.
Somerset. Have another drink.
Somerset rarebit.
I've never had rarebit before, so that was nice. And it came with some salad. You had dippy bits, didn't you?
I did. I had hummus and breadsticks and some like carrots, cucumber.
And yes, we did Golden. So we had a walk around the market. Now, there is a channel that I follow called Anam Cara. Do check them out because they do amazing vlogs. They are travel people around the UK, but they go to the very gothy, especially Laura. She's got a partner, Jay, and they've got a dog called Sega. And they travel, they've been to Glastonbury and all those type of places. And we message on each other's videos. And they went to Glastonbury, I think for Beltane. I think it was Beltane they went for. They camped. And they went to Wells. And she said, you really should go to Wells. But if you do go on a Wednesday because it's market day, the farmer's market. And suggested this sweet onion. No, not sweet onion. Caramelised onion, Scotch egg. And she said that they're amazing. And we had one.
Yeah.
And it was nice. We didn't have it there. We brought it back and we had it last night. So we went round the market. I saw a set of drawers that I liked. So, made out of wood, you know me and wood. Every time I see a stand that's got wooden boxes or something, I'm like, oh, there's wooden boxes. I'm obsessed with them. But there was this wooden box. Bearing in mind, this is a market stall with 3 drawers. Look nice. How much is your box? £900.
900.
And I was like, right, okay. And I'm thinking, £900 on a market stall.
And the other one, where the drawer didn't quite come out properly.
It was jammed. And I was like, oh, this drawer doesn't even open and close.
And that...
Oh, it's because we're outside.
Yeah, and that was 400.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, good luck trying to sell them.
No, we've got it just at room temperature.
What's that?
Lily Rose about the mead, room temperature or chilled. This is just room temperature, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we went to the cathedral. So it was £15 to get in the cathedral. And the architecture in there is amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah. Lily Rose said, did you see the amazing wonderful architecture? Yeah, it was. I loved I forgot, can you remember what the name of the room was called that I went up to? It's a big circular room. They have concerts in there. And
it was the really uneven stairs, wasn't it?
Yeah, you go up these steps, but they're really worn, and it tells you to be careful of them. So you decided not to go up.
I decided not to, no.
But this room was like, wow, it's a circular room. Chapter. Is it the chapter room? I'm not sure if it was called chapter or not.
I don't know.
It's on the guide, actually. I've got a guide that I took away. Yeah, and then we went to Vicar's Close. After we walked around the cathedral, went to Vicar's Close, which is medieval street. And as somebody said earlier, that's not been touched.
Oh, hi Rachel. Oh, lovely to see you here. Second thoughts about the mission.
Hi Rachel. Nice to see you. And then after we had lunch at Wells, was like, shall we go back to Glastonbury?
Yeah. Let's just go back to Glastonbury.
Yeah. And I got the last car park space because I thought we'd have to go home, park up here and then walk into town. But I said, let's just see if there's any parking spaces because usually there's not. But somebody must have just left because we got the last one. And then we had a nice cuppa, didn't we, in a cafe.
Yeah.
And then went to Sons of Asgard. That
might have been a tiny bit expensive trip into Sandra.
But
we might have got a few things.
Yeah, but stuff that will last.
Yeah, and not things that you're not going to use. And of course Chris and John, always lovely anyway. Yeah. But the only thing is when I go in there, I end up standing there and chatting to Chris and not actually shopping, so I end up going in there a second time usually.
Yeah, but yeah, I bought a statue from in there, very earthy statue, which I loved, and then some kits and some sprays and a burner, and I spent quite a bit in there.
Yeah, I did, and I know that I always do because it's a favourite shop of mine here. So I know that's always going to be a bit spendy, but that's why, I always save up all year virtually for this. Yeah. They are always friendly, Elspeth, and so knowledgeable. It's unbelievable the amount of knowledge that they hold in their brains. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. And it's just lovely that they make time for you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris was actually not talking me out of buying things, but he was like, do you really need this, Simon? Because you've got something similar from previously and, and I was like, and he's like, I'm not, you know, it's up to you, but you don't really need to get this if you've got such and such. And
Yeah. Which I think is lovely
yeah,
because most shops you go in, they would not do that. They wouldn't care. It'd be like, well, it's money. Let him buy it again if he wants to. But for Chris to say, well, you don't actually need to get this, I thought was really good, really nice. So no sort of pressuring you into buying things.
no. But then was like, well, we ought to just go back home now.
Yeah, I know.
So then we came back here, didn't we? And it was quite early, I think. Was it about 4ish?
Yeah.
And then we went out for dinner. That's what we did last night. We went for dinner, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a bit.
So
Sick. I can't get anything.
we'll be really honest, because I feel really bad. My favourite pub in the whole world is Georgian Pilgrims. I love it.
It's brilliant.
We go in every day when we're here, except for today's the first day we've not been in, and that's not deliberate. We've had lunch in there twice this week. We had a Sunday dinner, beautiful. We had a sandwich.
Yeah, which was lovely.
And we always decide to have at least one night out.
At least one, yeah.
For a nice meal, like a 3-course meal. And we went last year with Giselle and Keith.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a great experience. So they changed the menu. And every time we ordered something, they said, oh, really sorry, we don't have that. They would order something else. They'd go into the kitchen. They'd come back and say, really sorry, we don't have that either. And we was left with last year just vegetarian options, which is fine. So everything I wanted we couldn't have. But anyway, they gave us a discount last year and said, really sorry, it's because it's a new menu.
Yeah.
So we was mindful of that, but we said, well, it's a year on now, it will have settled down. So let's give it another go. So we went last night, we put our glad rags on.
Yeah.
Made a nice night of it, went in there, we'd booked early in the morning. And his first thing he said was, because we went in the bar first to have a drink, do you want to just have your meals in here or do you want to go to the restaurant?
Yeah, and I thought that was a bit of an odd thing to say.
Yeah, so I was like, we'll come to the restaurant if that's okay. Got yourselves all tarted up, all dolled up. And we went in, he gave us the menus. Not once did he say, so tonight we don't have such and such. Gave us the menus. So I said, oh, I'll have the such and such starter. Oh, I'm really sorry, we haven't got that on the menu. I was like, oh, right, okay. So then we said we'd have a starter of the camembert. So then I said the next thing I wanted. No, we don't have that on the menu. There was something. There were three things. There was
something else. No, we don't have that.
Oh, we don't have that on the menu. I said, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I said, oh, seriously, I said this happened to us last year. I asked for just fish and chips, but we don't have it.
So they've reduced the menu down. Now there is a kind of thought out there that the less items that you have on a menu, the higher the quality. And I get why people do it. I think it was Jeremy Clarkson when I watched Clarkson Farm said there shouldn't be anything more than like 5 dishes otherwise. So there's like 5 dishes on there, but half of them. So I think we was left with 2 options, weren't we?
We were, yeah.
So we ended up with scampi and chips.
Yeah, because that's all we could have really.
Or a risotto.
Yeah, which was a mushroom risotto, which I didn't fancy.
So it was like, we'll have to have scampi and chips then. And then, and we debated going, didn't we?
Yeah, because I said, well, should we just go somewhere else?
But the another downside to Glastonbury, and it's only a minor one, is there's not a lot of nighttime eating out options, really. And you don't like Indian food. Somebody said to us to avoid the Italian. So other than that, it's takeaways. So we had it. And then he said to us at the end, he said, look, he said, there's the desserts. He went, what I'm going to do for you, he said, is if you're thinking of having a dessert, it's free of charge. We'll let you have a free dessert. So we thought, well, that's nice. And he went, but the only thing on the menu is sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, all the
So
other
out of
desserts
like
weren't
4
available.
desserts, 3 not available. So there's like 2 main dishes and 1 pudding
And
and a sharer for the starter because the start.
and I thought the pudding was disgusting.
So
It's all
my
rubbery.
favourite pudding anyway is sticky toffee pudding. It's my, you know, so that's if I'm having a dessert, which I don't have very often, but if I have a dessert and sticky toffee pudding's on the menu, I order it. And he brought it out and it was like rubber.
It was nasty, really nasty.
The base was rock hard. You couldn't get your spoon through it, and it had obviously been put in a microwave and blitzed.
But it didn't taste like.
Nothing like sticky toffee. There was no toffee sauce. It just kind of congealed into this rubbery mess.
Yes.
And it was disgusting, but we still left a tip.
Because I suppose, in a way,
He
it
was
wasn't
really
the young
nice.
guy's fault, and he did offer us, you can have that for free.
And he was very apologetic.
Yeah,
he kept
he
saying,
was.
really sorry. And, and he tried to make it right by saying, I'll give you a free dessert. But the dessert was rank.
It really was rank. It was absolutely gross. I've never tasted a pudding dessert that was that horrible, ever.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, 2 years on the trot, and it's a chain that's taken over the Georgian Pilgrim. And I said to you, didn't I? I said, my worry is, because there was no one in there, there was one other table, 2 girls in the restaurant and us.
And that was it.
Normally, you can't get a table in there.
Exactly.
And then I went down to the bar to get some drinks. And there was one table with 2 people sat at it. And I'm like, this is such a shame, because if the Georgian Pilgrim was to shut, that would be such a loss for Glastonbury.
It's iconic. And it's a hotel as well. They have rooms.
Yeah. And they emailed me today saying, how did we do? And I've not responded yet, because the options they give you is, please write a review, and it's Google reviews or TripAdvisor. And I'm like, I really don't want to give them a bad review, because, I don't want to make the business worse, because there's nobody going in anyway, or there wasn't last night. I can't speak for any other night, but I had a toasted tea cake in Glastonbury, not saying where. The top was completely black and burnt. Oh no. Well, we've really enjoyed the Abbey Tea Rooms.
The Abbey Tea Rooms. The cheese scone we had in there was like
warm,
so nice. And today we ate in there. I had cauliflower cheese with salad and a bread roll. It was lovely. Most of the stuff is homemade. What did you have?
I had the pie of the day.
Yeah, steak and ale or something, wasn't it?
Local ale or something. Steak and local ale or something like that.
Really, really nice.
Because again, we're just having a sandwich tonight, so
we said we'll have a proper meal, and Simon got to have his sticky toffee pudding made properly.
Yeah, beautiful. And I was like, this is what a sticky toffee pudding is. So I never give a bad review on TripAdvisor, but I emailed them direct. Yeah, and we kind of told them direct. We just said, look, this is just really disappointing that this is the same thing a year on. But it's not the staff. It's not their fault.
No.
It's how it's being managed, I guess.
If you like kebabs, go to Tor Kebabs.
Opposite the Abbey. That's where they do the pizzas as well, is it?
Is that the pizza one?
Yeah, I think the Tor Kebabs do that in there. Do you like kebabs?
No.
No.
Because I hadn't. I'm not going to make everybody, I had a unfortunate experience with a kebab once, and I've never touched them since.
I like dirty kebab. So then today we went to Wookey Hole.
Yes, Wookey Hole.
So cool. We were advised to go early because it's half-term holiday, and it is kind of been marketed as a
It's a
children's
children's thing. It's
adventure
geared
zone
towards,
type of thing.
yeah.
But I just wanted to go in the caves and see the caves and the legend of the Wookiee Witch. But I've been in quite a few underground cave systems, and this is the best I've ever been in. The caverns in there are amazing. You can go as far as cavern 20, but it goes on. She said it goes up to cavern 25, but that would take like 5 hours to get to. But we kind of dragged behind from the
We
tour,
did so that you could.
so we could kind of take pictures and just walk around and soak it up ourselves. But
Yeah.
it's absolutely brilliant.
It was very cool. It was.
And the witch, her side profile with her mouth open and her nose, and you can see her
you can really
eyeball.
see
Let
it.
me see if I can show them if it will. Don't know if it's transferred across though. Oh, it might have done. If it's transferred to my iPad, yes.
Yeah, but will it show on the screen?
Yeah, I should do. Give you a little sneak peek from. Oh,
No, you've gone too far.
it's not done them all. Look, they've not all migrated across. They're already up to the moon ones. That's a shame. You'll have to wait for the.
The actual vlog.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see the profile.
Actually, I sent it to a friend, so it will be on. You will get to see it. It'll be on Messenger. Talk amongst yourselves. Not Messenger, WhatsApp. Oh. WhatsApp. Okay, hopefully you can see this. If you think of its side profile, there's the eyeball look.
Yeah.
And then a crooked nose and a gaping mouth. And look how huge she is, because these are the people below, people's heads.
It's really
really cool. And the way it's all lit up in there, the huge caverns, aren't they?
Yeah, really big.
So we went there. Oh, tell them about the maze of mirrors.
Oh God. Afterwards, because you walk through the cave system and obviously you follow the trail out. And so we're looking for the gift shop. There's a surprise, you know, but
Where I got Pendle Witch.
Yeah. And it was really difficult to try and find. We were following the signs, but it was difficult to try and find. And somehow we ended up in this maze of mirrors.
I've never been in anything like
anyway,
it.
trying to sort of, is that a mirror? Is that not a mirror? I was fortunate because Simon was in front of me and I was just following him.
I was getting quite panicky because
I know.
The mirror is that clear, and then you have to put your arm out, and if you can see it reflected back. But the way they're done, the only way I can think it must be done, because you don't know, all your senses go completely.
You don't know.
And people are walking towards you, and they're not there because it's been reflected from another mirror. And the way I can think it must be done is like a honeycomb, where there's mirrors on so many sides. So you go in and you want to walk forward. You can see people walking into these mirrors.
Yeah, I think it's actually quite dangerous.
But once you're in the middle of it, you can't find your way out. And I was like, I don't know what to do, because... And all these people, I could see people like way off. And I thought, oh, this is a corridor because that woman's right down there. But then you hit a mirror and she's behind you. It's the weirdest sensation.
It's horrible because you just think you're stuck and you're like, how am I going to get out? How am I going to get out?
Yes, very disorientating.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, it's one of those places where you could easily freak out in there.
Yeah. I was so glad I went in on my own, because I was like, I don't know how to get out of this. I really don't know how to get out of it. So we got out.
We did get out eventually and made it to the gift shop.
Yeah. And then we drove back to Glastonbury.
Yes.
Oh, down these country lanes.
Oh, that was hair raising and all. Oh, God.
Waze is the app I use for navigation. Waze just seems to, and I always put quickest route, main roads, avoiding toll routes.
So was I, Rachel. We could have still been stuck in there. Who knows?
Both yesterday going to Wells and today, well, Wookie is at Wells as well, more or less.
Yeah.
It kept taking us through these country lanes, which were literally one vehicle wide. And we're going down and we're saying, I hope this is one way only, because if something comes, you're stuck.
And what came?
A van.
A great big van.
And he wasn't going to move, was he? He was sat there
No.
going...
Like that, and you couldn't move anywhere.
By that point, on the way in, we travelled for nearly 2 miles down this lane, and there's nowhere to... And then there was like a drive to a house, but it was like,
But
that.
it was like that.
And I couldn't reverse up it.
Couldn't.
So then he had to reverse until we got to a point where there was somebody else's drive, and I was able to go up that drive to let him through. But it was hair-raising.
Yeah, that was horrible.
There seems to be a lot of them down here. Country lanes that are really narrow.
You just can't see around bends and things. You don't know if something's coming.
They come flying along, don't they? We're like, look at the
Yeah, they
speed
do.
of
And
them.
you think, God, slow down. Yeah, so that was another scary bit.
I'd be freaking out in the country.
Yeah.
Hi, Loz.
Eerie things happening. Not really so far.
Amanda says, lots of single track lanes where I live. I hate driving down them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Did you buy a mirror in the gift shop? No, Sonique. Didn't. Ake says, I'd love to go to London, never been to the UK. Yeah, London's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool for a visit. Yeah, and then we did a little bit more shopping. So today was our big ticket items.
Yes, yeah. Because I didn't think the particular shop was going to be open, or we didn't. And it was, so it was like, right, let's get them now.
Yeah.
So we got the big ticket items today.
Which meant carrying them through the streets. So that's why when we saw
But
Helen,
at least it
we were
wasn't like too, we were like, oh, we can't stop too long because we're carrying heavy items, which was a bit of a shame. But, it was still nice to say hi and stuff. But yeah, fortunately, the car park wasn't too far.
No, we found one a little bit closer. And better than having to walk all the way back here with it.
Walking all the way back here, because what I'd planned to do, I was saying, do you think if I empty my suitcase right out and wheel it into town and put the thing in it and wheel it, that's what I was going to do. Because I thought I can't carry it all the way back to the cottage.
Yeah,
It's
and
too
I've
far.
got something equally as heavy as well. So, have you visited Dandelion? So that's also where we went this afternoon. So we did go into Dandelion Dreams on Sunday.
Hi, Naomi.
Hi, Naomi. But they were shut in the week. So today was the first day they opened. We got in there just before 12.
Yeah.
And we didn't even realise they weren't open. So when we went to pay, she was like, oh, there's another minute on the till before we can, because we don't open till 12. But I bought an Oracle deck from there, an independently produced Oracle deck, and another beautiful item, which I'll show you on the haul.
But he's lovely, the guy.
Yeah, they all are.
Well, they all are, aren't they? Yeah.
The girl that was in there today was in there on Sunday, wasn't she? She was really nice. But yeah,
She was lovely, but the owner of the shop,
yeah,
is lovely.
Dandelion.
Yeah.
So we went to Dandelion first, and we actually parked at the car park at the back of the church.
Back of there, yeah.
So you come down the alleyway where Dandelion Dreams is. And then we came back here, dropped everything off, and then we just walked across to the White Spring, and we spent a good amount of time in the White Spring, and then we called in at Rifleman's Arms and had a mead wine, which was the one was on about, which is the nicest one.
The traditional one, the nice one, really nice.
Yeah. And then that's where we're up to.
That is where we've got to, yeah.
So somebody has asked, was it Golden, doing anything witchy tomorrow? So yes, tomorrow is Samhain, the pinnacle of our week. So we're having a bit of a lazy start, aren't we? We're not rushing up, rushing out, because we're going to be in town and out and about till later tomorrow. So not quite sure. There's something in the afternoon that we said.
Chalice well.
We're going to the Chalice Well at 4, aren't we?
Yeah,
For a fire ritual.
a fire ceremony that they're doing.
Yeah. So that'll be nice. And then it's the zombie walk on the high street, which we did that last year, but thought we'd go and see it again. So we're doing a fire ritual, fire ceremony in the Chalice Well, and then going to the high street for the zombie walk for Halloween. Then when we're coming back here, we've had it up all week, our ancestral altar.
Yeah.
So we've got photographs of our loved ones on it. We've got a black and white candle ready for the ritual tomorrow. We've put some fruit on there as an offering. We've got some magical sprays and things like that. What else have we got on there? We've got our beloved dead card on a stand. So there's a goddess on there. So it's set up ready for tomorrow evening. I wrote a it's not really an incantation or anything. It's more of a poem. It's from the heart. Started writing it before I came here, finished it off this morning.
Yeah, it's really lovely, yeah.
So we're going to read that as well. We've chosen some music to play. I think there's going to be some meditation, reflection. We've got a closing, some words to say to close it down afterwards as well. So that's going to be, we wouldn't film that because that's going to be quite personal to us because we're honouring our ancestors and loved ones in spirit on the night where the veil's at its thinnest. So we've got all that ready. We've also kept some mead back to because I've written in there about, you know, as we offer the wine and the fruit that we're going to offer as well. So as we fill the cup, and we'll burn the candles, the black and the white candles. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. And then we've got our final day Saturday, and on our final day Saturday, because we've been bitting and bobbing on in the town, we're starting at one end on one side of the street, and we're going all the way up to the top, crossing over and coming all the way back down.
Yeah.
So literally, as we come out of here and turn right, we're on the side of the Abbey.
Yeah.
So we're going all the way up that side, crossing over the top and coming out down to like Happy Glastonbury and back, and just taking the time, but going in every shop, not because we want to buy anything, because there's nothing else we want.
No.
We just want to go in everywhere, because I know every year when we get back, we say, do you know what we didn't do this year?
We didn't go to such and such. So we want to make sure that this time we are doing it.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That sounds beautiful and emotional. Yeah, it would be nice to do that. We did a ritual, was it last year or the year before?
It was the year before last. We didn't do it last year because we were meeting up with Giselle and Keith at the zombie thing.
Yes, and yeah, that's right. And then we had a meal in the Georgian Pilgrim, didn't we? So we didn't get back till late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So, and then I'm getting up early, as I said, Sunday, and coming back. I want to be back in Nottingham for at least 10 o'clock. So if I set off at 6, that should be doable, hopefully, to be back for 10, because I'm back at work the next day and I'm in training for my new role and all that. So, yeah, I want to be back early Saturday, laundry and all that. But I am going to schedule my Glastonbury haul for 5 p.m. on Sunday, because Becca goes live. If she is going live, she usually does, but Becca goes live at 7 p.m. on Sunday. So I'm scheduling it for about 5 o'clock. And then after I've done that, I can, you know, relax and get ready into the mindset of coming out of the world of Glastonbury into the world of work and back to life.
And I was thinking, possibly, depending what people think, whether I should do my Glastonbury Hall live. I don't know what day it would be, but I might do a live instead of just a normal video
Yay.
to show the things that I have purchased.
Yeah. Yeah, so look forward to them. And then however long it takes me to do this vlog, I've already started it just because we were sitting here saying, what did we do Monday? And I said, let me start putting the blog together and then I'll know. So that's why. So hopefully I can get most of it done. There's still going to be things to film, like the fire ceremony tomorrow.
Everyone wants me to do a live.
Bit of the zombie. Yeah, it'll be good for you to do a live. And then I was just going to ask Chris, but I don't know if he's still in the chat, whether he is live tonight, because we purposely came live at 7 because we didn't want to clash with Chris, who usually does his sip and sling on a Thursday at 9. So, but I'm not sure if he's still here, but I'm sure he would have put it up if he is doing a live still. But yeah, so that's it from us. We've been on long. I thought we said about an hour, didn't we?
It's a bit longer than that, isn't it?
We've obviously, Chris is live at 9 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
So that's good. Well,
Great.
if we can do our sandwich,
Yeah.
we can join you at 9 o'clock and watch on the telly.
On the TV.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Simon and Sandra. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you all.
There's 110 people here just listening to us witter on about our week in Glastonbury. But I know everybody always likes us to do vlogs. I'm always conscious that I'm trying to make it a little bit different, so I'm not showing the same things, but people want them, so we aim to please. But yeah, lovely to hang out with everyone.
Lovely.
And we will see you back in the Muggle world.
Yes.
Look at me talking Harry Potter.
Yeah, you see, I thought you didn't like Harry Potter. You know about muggles.
It's more the author than anything else. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.